Hey, little psychic, my name is June Mack, and welcome to our 7 day intuition challenge. I am the founder of a little psychic school, spirit channel, intuition coach, business mentor to the awakened entrepreneur. I love to help you awaken, amplify, harness your intuitive abilities, and use them as your most powerful business tool. I'm here to help you create a business full of income, impact, freedom, and fulfillment if that's what you want. So let's get into our intuition challenge. Intuition, why do we want it? Why don't you want it? Intuition is literally something that we are all born with. It is our inner navigation system. It's like your North Star. It literally is the system that is going to lead you from feeling lost, lacking purpose, confused, unsure of which direction to take, and align you. It's actually there to align you with your highest purpose and for why it is that you came here and decided to incarnate on earth, full stop. Imagine how much easier life would be if you could stop, or not that we ever stop, but start to not second guess so much every decision and choice that we make, and actually be able to feel into your body or feel into your intuition or the way that your own body individually feels it, and use that to make decisions that could lead you to your most powerful, insane, fulfilled, content filled life. When I started developing my intuition, and yes, it's something that you can work on, I have always had, like, little psychic things going on my entire life, but I never knew how and when to use my intuitive abilities. They would sometimes be strong, sometimes not work at all, and I didn't know how to hone in and refine them. Once I started developing them, so started in psychic development or intuitive development, was when my entire life completely flipped on its head and changed for the better. The things that I have been able to achieve have been beyond what I ever thought was possible for me in my life, in a good way. And I've never had anybody who has started intuitive development, if they have the right mentor, of course, and regretted it. So, today on day one, we're going to be talking about leaning into and feeling when your intuition is trying to tell you a yes versus a no. So, this is a very, very handy tool to have. Know that for everyone, it's going to feel different. So, the way that my yes feels in my body feels different to when it's a no. Where are we getting this information from? Whatever you want to believe in, whether you call it intuition, your spirit guides, your angels, God, universe, source, divine, it's coming from somewhere. We all have it. You've all had that gut feeling when you have just known a place wasn't right for you, a person wasn't right for you. But we are going to help you build upon this. And what happens is when you start your intuitive development, you just build upon it and it gets stronger and stronger as you go. Even if you've been doing intuitive development for a little bit, it's just sometimes nice to come back to the basics. So what I want you to do is, starting with today, is go around and start asking yourself small little questions. So it would be something really, really simple, like, what color top is going to bring me the most joy today? Or what should I have for breakfast? Should I have this porridge or this bagel? Where should I go to get the biggest filled McDonald's chips from? Should I go to this suburb or this one? So start with the small questions. The reason why we get you to start small is because if you start asking yourself big questions like, what is the meaning of life and why am I here? If you aren't very intuitively developed yet, and you have a lot of emotion tied to the answer of these questions, your emotions are going to get in the way and hinder actually how it feels for you. So if you can get yourself an intuition diary or a little something that you like to write in for these experiments or for these 7 days, it's going to help your journey so much more powerful. You can write them in your phone if you don't like to write things down, using your pen and paper, whatever resonates for you. But when you ask yourself these questions, so say for example, you're starting with, which McDonald's should I go to get the largest, most filled packet of fries? And say you ask yourself a question and you ask, okay, so those of you that are in Melbourne, I'm going to make up a suburb, Wanturna. Should I go to Wanturna or should I go to Knox McDonald's? And you might just notice in your belly, or you might notice it somewhere, it's going to be different for everybody, a little bit of butterflies when you say one turner, or when you feel into the option of one turner. Close your eyes, center yourself for a minute and feel into it, and just notice the subtle changes in your body when you feel into that option. Write it down. When you feel into knocks, maybe perhaps you get a little bit of a sinking feeling in your stomach, or maybe you get like the goosebumps but not in a good way, or maybe it just doesn't feel right in your body and you can't really explain the reason why. Some people, you're going to get this differently. Some people are very clairvoyant, so they see a lot of things. Some people hear a lot of things. You might literally hear yes, no, like in your mind. So a lot of people who have clairaudience, they hear it in their own voice, in their own head. You might feel it. You might be a feeler. You might feel it as an emotion, is in like a yes, hell yes for this one, and a no. You might just have a very strong knowing and not really be able to explain why it feels that way. Whatever it is, write it down and then go with which. Maybe you felt that fluttering in your stomach for one turner, so we're going to drive to one turner. Then you are going to write down the outcome. Did you get a big filled packet of fries or no? And if you did, then you can have a look back at your diary and say you did get a very filled packet of fries, and go, okay, so these are the feelings that I experienced when I felt into that option, and it worked out really well for me. So we're also going to be documenting the outcomes. So you can see how these things start off really small. So you're going to do this every day this week. It could be all day, as many times as you can think about a question like, how should I do my hair today if I want to get a compliment? Or what is something that I can say to my daughter that's going to make her feel the best about herself today, or my child? This or this. And literally feel into each of those options. And what happens is at the beginning, especially if you're new to this, you might not feel very much, but slowly, bits by bits, those feelings start to amplify and you build upon them. So don't be discouraged if it's not something super strong to begin with. It will build. It will keep building the more you practice this. Like any other skill, intuition is something that you can practice. So give that a try, and as you develop, so later on down the track, you can start asking yourself bigger questions. So things that maybe do have some emotion involved, but if the emotion is involved, you can still sort of get clearer answers once you're a little bit more skilled in this. So for example, for me, when something or the answer is a yes, I will get so excited. I'll have an excited feeling, sometimes a little bit nervous, because it's normal to be excited but nervous. Excited is literally your intuition telling you yes. Nervous is your human brain that chimes in and says, oh, this is different, this is scary, I need to protect you from this because this is change. And that's what chimes in, and that's what we're trying to quieten that part of your mind and bring in your other psychic senses to help you. And when something is a no, I'll just feel like a sinking feeling in my stomach. So exactly like I described it, it just feels like a strong no. It's very much in my body. And now when I'm making choices around things, I like to call it timeline hopping. I write down a few options and feel into each one of those options, and I can tell by the way it feels because it's built so strongly. Straight away I will feel that strong excitement, butterflies in my stomach, buzzing feeling like I feel in my solar plexus. So those of you that are familiar with chakras, in my solar plexus, it's like it ignites and it's like a strong buzzing feeling almost. So I have a very strong yes and no, but it's taken me a while to build it to this point. So don't get discouraged if that's not how it feels for you. Sometimes also no, there is not a yes and no answer. So you might be trying to feel into your yes and no, and actually there's not an option. So there could be, you might say, to be the happiest in my life, should I quit work? Should I quit work? Or should I continue working, or should I find another job that's similar and move to that as well because it's going to be a better space? So sometimes, or a lot of the time, we actually have free will and things can still work out really well. Depending on what you choose, there could be more than one option. So sometimes if you don't feel a yes and a no answer, there's not always a yes and a no answer. There can be so many different variations of how things are going to turn out. So you might say, is this person good, or is this person going to react good or bad to this? And you know, there might be no yes or no answer to that because everyone has their own free will. That person has the decision in that moment. They are making that choice as to how they're going to react. So there might not always be a yes or no answer. So know that. Anyway, let me know how you go. If you're part of the chat, join the chat and please fill us in on how it feels for you for your yes and your no. No, it's going to be super different for each one of you. And if you're looking to develop yourself more intuitively, you're looking for a choose your own adventure, one-stop shop where you can literally get started and start watching content now in your own time, at your own pace, using your own app, and join an amazing community. You can learn about spirit guides, psychic development, mediumship development, intuition. There's tarot cards, there's cards workshops. There's so many different things in there. Head to the link below and it's going to take you and show you all the amazing classes that we have for intuitives or spiritual entrepreneurs. Hope you enjoyed day one, and I will chat to you soon.